Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narasimhan. Ladies and gentlemen, Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the midst of all the preparations for the G20 summit, where he's right now in a huddle with the ministers at Sushma Swaraj Bhavan. Through the day, he's air dashed to Jakarta, attended two important meetings, the ASEAN Summit and the East Asia Summit, come back and soon after touchdown gone straight to Sushma Swaraj Bhavan to have that meeting with the G20 group of ministers and to take stock of things. He has said 21st century belongs to Asia while addressing the summit earlier in the day. In Jakarta, he said that history is uniting Bharat and ASEAN. And he's also said that ASEAN is an important pillar of India's Act East policy. He's more importantly said this century belongs to all of us. And that's a very, very important message that he's brought in. And he said it was an important meeting ahead of the G20 summit. Voice of the Global South, along with the Africa nations, the voice of East Asia and the ASEAN nations, will that be the one that India will echo at that leadership summit? We'll have to wait and watch. Meanwhile, ahead of the G20 summit, Wing Commander Gajendra Yadav from the Indian Air Force has displayed the G20 flag at a height of 10,000 feet above the ground. It's a phenomenal feeling, ladies and gentlemen. There's so much that's being done. Meanwhile, we're talking about things above the ground. Let's talk about things from outer space. Well, if that picture from Aditya L1 is not proof enough or is not wow enough, it's a selfie from space as it continues the sun's point of view, how the sun would see Earth and the moon. An amazing picture that's been set from the Lagrange point 1. Aditya L1 sharing this image of its payloads, the Visible Emission Line Chronograph or WELC, and SUIT, the Solar Ultraviolet Imaging Telescope. It has also captured images of the Earth and the Moon from space, from the sun's point of view. Meanwhile, big news coming through. India has achieved 80% of the financial inclusion rate. The World Bank has said that this has been achieved in 6 years instead of 47 years. So because of the JAM model, India has done in 6 years what the World Bank estimates we would have otherwise taken nearly half a century to do. World Bank crediting digital payment infrastructure such as Jan Dhan bank accounts, Aadhaar and mobile. So the entire JAM portal for this feat. The World Bank document has also recorded that the total value of UPI transactions last financial year was nearly 50% of India's nominal GDP. So kudos to all of us for embracing the digital infrastructure and kudos to the government for putting it in place in record time. Meanwhile, we've got big news coming through, ladies and gentlemen. And this is with respect to former Prime Minister of Pakistan who's currently in London. He may be back in Pakistan very, very soon. Nawaz Sharif back in Pakistan soon. That's the big story that's coming through. Our group editor security, Manoj Gupta, getting us these details, saying that sources close to Nawaz Sharif say that he will return to Pakistan around the second week of October. Between the 11th and 15th of October, Nawaz Sharif is expected to be back in Pakistan. And on return, he will face the courts and the legal proceedings. Now Nawaz Sharif feels that all the charges against him are baseless. Has he been given? Let's understand, there's a caretaker Prime Minister right now. There is a buzz that there could soon be a caretaker or interim president. And in this case, what happens on ground in Pakistan with the army calling the shots? Quite literally, the military establishment has taken control of the economic crisis. We've reported it here. General Asim Munir is in the thick of things. Is this a green signal from the deep state, military deep state, that Mr. Nawaz Sharif, aapki ghar wapsi ab ho sakti hai? So will this all be a charade that he goes through the entire court procedures and all the cases against him are then done away with? So that's the fact that he's now got faith in all the courts and he's confident of getting justice and he should be able to break away. The PMLN actually wants to contest the upcoming elections in Pakistan with Nawaz Sharif on ground in Pakistan because that's what they believe will perhaps swing the momentum for them. The elections in Pakistan are likely to be held in February 2024. That's what the buzz is. Nawaz will return around the second week of October. Sanjay Suri is with us on the phone line from London. Nawaz Sharif may soon vacate his London residence, which you are very familiar with. Sanjay, quick word. Second week of October, he's expected.
Well, I wouldn't call it a vacation of residence. That has been on Park Lane, Nawaz Sharif's residence for a number of years. But certainly now, his return is imminent. This has been discussed for a while. It has been negotiated for a while. But now it does appear that in the second week of October, he will be returning to Pakistan. The political climate, of course, as we can recognize, is now appropriate and receptive to return.
Right.
And it's now on cards that he will be back in Pakistan very soon now.
Sanjay Suri, thank you for your inputs. He'll keep a close watch on what's happening in London, but surely there could be bags packed and there could be a leaving on a jet plane from London to Karachi very, very soon, ladies and gentlemen. And that will be, we are telling you first here, around the second week of October between the 10th and the 15th. Now, let's quickly get a move on to the big political debate of the day. And it's all around the DMK doubling down, digging in their heels and further going on to assault Sanatan Dharma.
பெண்மையாகத்தான் சொன்னார், மலேரியா போல டெங்கு போல ஒழிக்க வேண்டும் என்று. மலேரியாவுக்கும் டெங்குக்கும் சோசியல் ஸ்டிக்மா இல்லை, அது ஒரு அருவருப்பா சமூகம் பார்க்காது. எங்களை பொறுத்தவரை ஹெச்ஐவி தொழுநோயை போல ஹெச்ஐவி போல சமூக அவலம் நிறைந்த ஒரு நோயாகத்தான் நம்ம பார்க்கிறோம்.
इतने लंबे काल में मुगल सल्तनत तो न हिंदू आस्था को हिला सकी न सनातन को कमजोर कर सकी. सैकड़ों वर्षों के ब्रिटिश शासन ने भी हिंदू आस्था को कोई चोट नहीं पहुंचाई.
Mention Sanatana Dharma, which essentially itself practices discrimination. That is why your movement is founded. Sir, I would like to take back you to two eminent leaders who were born out of your movements. One is the great leader from the scheduled caste community, Mr. MC Raja.
Well, there was a buzz, ladies and gentlemen, that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has told his ministers to go after and factually counter anything against Sanatan Dharma. Chief Minister Stalin, Udhyanidhi's father, wrote to the Prime Minister saying that all we were focusing on was about discrimination that exists within Sanatan Dharma. But what was the platform and the event? Let's try and understand that. Was it about ending discrimination or eradicating Sanatan Dharma? And if it's discrimination doesn't that exist across all communities and across all faiths and practices, why only single out Sanatan Dharma? These are all questions that remain, but who are the organizers? The organizers were the Tamil Nadu Progressive Writers and Artists Association. The theme itself was eradication of Sanatana. The theme was eradication of Sanatana. It was not eradication of discrimination. And DMK leader Veeramani's remark, Sanatan Dharma and Hindu religion are the same. He said that the Dravidar Karagam ideology carries on from E.V. Ramaswamy Nayakar. Udhyanidhi's comment, and he read out that statement, is that Sanatana is like malaria and dengue and it needs to be eradicated like these illnesses. The Rao very clearly is take a stand on caste system, not Sanatan Dharma. So here is the question. Why do you want to eradicate Sanatan Dharma if the issue is that you are going to eradicate discrimination? Question is the DMK against discrimination or against Sanatan Dharma itself? Not just a religion, Sanatan Dharma encompasses many faiths and many belief systems. So to call it religion would be wrong. Meanwhile, DMK has been vocal on Sanatan Dharma. Here's what their stand on other issues are. Triple Talaq, instant Teen Talaq, they wanted parliamentary committee to review it. They abstained from the entire passage of the bill in the Rajya Sabha during the voting process. Common Civil Code undermines religious federalism is what they have turned around and said here. So again, they don't want to do away with discrimination. Antithesis to religious freedom is what they have called the Common Civil Code. Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 excludes Tamil refugees and unconstitutional is what they had said, whereas it had nothing to do with citizens. Anyway, destroys the basic fabric of secularism is what they had to say about CAA 2019. Dalit Christians in Tamil Nadu are alleging bias. They are saying they are being barred from using burial grounds. This is a charge they have made. What has the DMK said? Dalit Christians, is that not discrimination? Has they spoken about it? 2010 reports, few churches in the state are shut. Churches shut after Dalit Christians demanded share in administration. So where is this discrimination being talked about? If Christianity and the Abrahamic faiths are supposed to be less discriminatory, what are Dalit Christians, Dalit Sikhs, Dalit Muslims, these terminologies that are being used by members of the alliance that they are part of? Let's go straight across to this debate. We have Mr. Dharanidharan, Aravindan Neelakantanji and Sanju Verma of the BJP. Namaskaram, Jai Hind, thank you very, very much. Aravindan Neelakantanji, thank you very much. It's not very easy to get you to comment, so I'm going to start with you. Author, you're also contributing editor to Swarajya. Your big book on Hindutva is very well researched. Let me ask you, what's the genesis of this entire platform? Are they wanting to eradicate discrimination or eradicate Sanatan Dharma?
They do not want to eradicate discrimination. They want to destroy Hinduism. That is their game plan. They are the B team of the colonial evangelical forces that want to destroy Hinduism, that want to weaken the Hindu institutions like temples. And to do all this, they need a particular kind of a mask. And that mask is social justice. The social justice for them is nothing but a mask to hide a Nazi-like hatred for Hindu way of life. That is what this is all about. It is not about social justice. If it is about social justice, then let me tell it very clearly. The term Sanatana Dharma was also used by Arya Samaj's Dayanand Saraswati, who was for social justice, who was for the eradication of caste, who actually fought the initial fight against untouchability. But these people never participated in all this. And now they are using this term just to mask their hatred for Hindus and Hindus.
That's a very serious charge that you make. Mr. Dharanidharan, would you want to respond before I bring in Sanjuji?
I think definitely. I think I also mention Tamil Nadu BJP chief's remark today, and then I'll answer both together. See, Tamil Nadu BJP president first will have to apologize to the DMK because I think he used derogatory words against the party and us, which can't be accepted. First of all, what rights does it give to him to speak about the DMK party, right? DMK gave women empowerment. We were the first party in India to start women remarriage, legislate, right? First party to give equal access to women, like in properties. And thirdly, when it comes to Dalits, 1 in 4 Dalit entrepreneurs live in Tamil Nadu. That's because of affirmative action and other similar programs that we had, right? And Tamil Nadu is the only place where people of all caste, right, can become priest. We have the highest number of OBC entrepreneurs, right? We have legislation for intercaste marriages, all because of inclusive Dravidian policy. Sanatan Dharma is not Hinduism. Hinduism not a standardized religion, is a polytheistic religion. Our problem is differentiation based on birth, which is caste system. If that is not there, then why can't BJP instead go and legislate saying that people of all castes become priests? Okay. Right? We are fighting for equality. Equality is what we are fighting for. He came and said he weakened Nazis. How can he say it? BJP is the only party that is emulating the Nazis. Right? They want to bring the inferiority complex in the majorities, like how the man did in Germany.
Mr. Dharanidharan and the DMK can say anything that they want because they have freedom of speech. But nobody else has the freedom to say anything because they do not have the same freedom of speech. I'll park the argument there.
BJP thrives on destroying the communal harmony. Okay. Tell me one instance where...
Since your attack is on the BJP also, let Ms. Sanju Verma respond and then I'll come back to you with a few questions from the observation you yourself have made, Dharanidharanji. But first, Sanju Verma. Yes, Sanjuji.
Thank you. Anandji, I have listened patiently to the DMK panelists. I don't want to be heckled. First and foremost, the DMK panelists he spoke about how the DMK has always stood for women empowerment. I want to ask the DMK, their big leaders, and not just the panelists on television screen today. Do you remember the date 25th March 1989? I think no one in Tamil Nadu can forget 25th March 1989. This is not done. I refuse to debate
Mr.
like this.
Dharnidharan, you have to hear her out. I'll allow you rebuttal, but you can't heckle her. Please, let her speak, then you respond. I'll give you the time. It's just the two of you on the screen. Yes, complete. Sanju Verma.
I will reinforce. Do you remember the date 25th March 1989? Inside the Tamil Nadu Assembly, J. Jayalalitha, who was then the leader of the opposition on the floor of the Assembly, she had not yet become Chief Minister. M. Karunanidhi was there. Right in front of him, DMK legislators pulled J. Jayalalitha's sari, tried to disrobe her, humiliated her, and M. Karunanidhi was laughing. And you are sitting here and talking about women empowerment? Sharam karo. Then point number 2, keep quiet. I did not heckle you. Anand, I don't want to debate like this. This is unfair to me.
Please,
I will not debate like
you
this.
make your point. You make your point, Mr. Dharnidharan. I'll give you a chance to rebut. Wait.
Sharam karo. What?
No.
Either you lower his finger or I don't want to debate.
Mr. Dharnidharan, I will give you your time to rebut. I assured you will get your time to rebut. Please don't heckle. You just said you respect women. Tamil Nadu respects women, right? So please walk the talk.
I repeat, when J. Jayalalitha was disrobed on the 25th of March 1989, M. Karunanidhi, the so-called patriarch and the father of M.K. Stalin and the grandfather of Udhyanidhi Stalin, was a mute spectator, or should I say, was actually enjoying the antics of his legislators who humiliated a woman on the floor of the assembly. That's my point number 1. DMK has no business talking about women empowerment. Point number 2. A. Raja, who's one of the senior leaders of DMK and who said, forget dengue and malaria, Sanatan Dharma should be equated with HIV, AIDS, leprosy, blah, blah, blah. A. Raja, in the last 3 general elections, 2009, 2014 and 2019, he contested from where? He contested from Nilgiris, which is reserved for the scheduled castes, yes or no. If you do not believe in reservation, if you do not believe in caste system, why is A. Raja, who is a baptized Christian, and this is known in the public domain, why should a baptized Christian contest Lok Sabha elections not once, not twice, but thrice in a row from a seat which is reserved for scheduled castes? That's my point number 2. And my last point, and the most important one, is this. For everyone, including M.K. Stalin, including Priyank Kharge, who is in alliance with the DMK, including A. Raja, including K.S. Aragiri, who is a crypto-Christian. Let me tell you this. How many kinds of Christianities are there, for want of a better word? And I will just take 20 seconds. Roman Catholic, Eastern Orthodox, URC, Society of Friends, Baptist Church, Independent Charismatic, Pentecostal, Methodist, Church of England, Brethren Church, Exclusive Brethren Church, Orthodox Church, the Great Schism, Salvation Army, Presbyterian, Lutheran. I will run out of the number of churches which are there, and each has a separate ideology, each caters to a separate audience. So you believe in caste system, do not give bhashan. Just 10 seconds more, Anand. Please indulge me.
Yeah.
Prior to every election, and I will finish with this. Prior to every election, and I've done my homework, I want to ask you only one thing. When you go to western part of Tamil Nadu, and I did some homework before coming here, DMK asks for votes from the Kongu community. When they go to Chennai and Vellore, which has a decent Dalit population in terms of size, they ask for votes in the names of Dalits. When they go to Kanchipuram district, which is where C. Annadurai came from, they ask for votes in the names of the Mudaliar community. Right. When they go to Virudanagar, when they go to Tirunelveli, when they go to Tuticorin, and when they go to Kanyakumari, they ask for votes in the name of Nagar community. So, and when they go to North Tamil Nadu, they ask for votes in the name of the Vaniyar caste. So you, DMK, have been playing caste politics since 1969, when
Right.
Karunanidhi became
So-
the chief
so-
minister for the first time.
Now please
Don't
yield.
give lecture to
Now
the
please
BJP.
yield. Now
Don't
please
give
yield.
lecture on
Now you
Sanatan
please yield.
Dharma.
Now you have to hear to Mr. You have to hear Selam Dharnidharan. Yes, Selam Dharnidharan. Then Arvindan ji will come back to you. Yes.
First of
Thank
all,
you very much.
BJP has no moral rights to speak about women, right? I have data from ADRs published in India today. BJP has the highest number of MPs and MLAs with crime against women who are actually sitting in the parliament. It is right there in record, highest number, right?
Debate is not
Please.
Debate is not
Now
for
you will
women
not
empowerment.
interrupt. Now
I
Sanju
was
Verma.
only
Now
responding to you.
Now
I
Sanju
was
Verma,
only
please.
responding to you.
Sanju Verma,
How about
please.
Sanatan Dharma?
Sanju
Are you a
Sanju Verma, this is unfair, please, ma'am. Sanju ji, this is unfair, please, ma'am. He yielded. He didn't heckle you afterwards. Sanju Verma ji. Sanju ji, please. Sanju ji, please. I request you, please. Kindly yield. Yes, Mr. Dharnidharan, carry on.
I think BJP spokesperson itself shows what BJP stands for. Crypto, Christian, talking about religion.
No, one minute. Sanju ji, please. Sanju ji, please. I do not want to be disrespectful to any of the panelists. I am going to, for the last time, say, please don't heckle each other. Please don't interrupt. Let them make their point and you counter thereafter. Please. Yes, Selam Dharnidharan.
Explained by BJP spokesperson where when she spoke, I gave the time and I speak, she can't.
Selam Dharnidharan, go ahead, please. She will not interrupt you now, and if she does, I will lower her volume respectfully. Please go ahead.
Women are committed by BJP parliamentarians, 40%. And what happened? Are medal-winning women?
Are you a crypto Christian? Yes or no?
Sanju Verma ji, please.
They will not file an FIR against this BJP politician who was heading.
Can we come back to the debate and Tamil Nadu and DMK and Sanatan Dharma?
Yes or
No, please, ma'am, please.
We are women entering colleges in Tamil Nadu, right? GR, graduate enrollment ratio 50%. Gujarat 20%, right? High school.
Is that the debate right now, sir? Is that the debate right now? No, 1 minute. The debate is the DMK's agenda. Those who have left the Hindu fold coming there and talking about eradicating Sanatana, what's their motivation? Would you agree to the charge made by the BJP that Mr. Andimuttu Raja now is a baptized Christian? He is no longer a Hindu.
Few months back, one Chotelal Karwar, right, an MP, quit the BJP because of harassment by BJP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. BJP is the party that promotes has caste hierarchy.
No. Wait a minute. Answer. Let's talk about Tamil Nadu. Why are you, Mr. Dharnidharan? Do you take the same position when it comes to elitism, casteism and groupism and separationism as far as Christianity and Islam is concerned as you are taking a position on Sanatan Dharma? First question. Secondly, are the people who are standing there to eradicate Sanatan Dharma those who have actually quit the religion and they are baptized Christians? Then do they have the right to assault on any other dharma, any other faith, as per the constitution of our country?
Listen, firstly, DMK stands for equality and equity and social justice and giving dignity to all, be it any religion, right? The reason why we said no for the Citizenship Amendment Act was because
why are you not answering the question, sir? The question is not CAA 2019. The CAA 2019 had nothing to do with Tamil or people from Sri Lanka. It had to do with people who were affected by partition in 1947 and minorities in nations that were created because of the partition in 1947. Had there been a Dravidistan, then CAA 2019 would have come into play. And that Dravidistan was mooted by your own ideologue, Periyar, E.V. Ramaswamy Nayakar. So that didn't happen. I am asking you currently, sir, are people who are assaulting Sanatan Dharma those who are now baptized Christians?
The whole point is not that. I don't.
That is the point, sir. Can you answer this question?
Let's not get to hate speech or anything like that.
Sir, I am asking you, sir, if you are not a Hindu, and you stand there and say that Hinduism is like a virus, it's like AIDS, and it's worse than dengue and malaria. But you are a baptized Christian. Is that hate speech or not? Does the Constitution allow you to do it? Is that equality and equanimity? Is that respect for all religions?
Can you let me speak? I think you
answer
are
the
doing
question.
the job of the BJP spokesperson here. Sorry to say this, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry to say you are not answering the questions. I thought you will answer the questions effectively, sir.
You are not, see, only if you let me speak, right?
Go
Then
ahead.
I can answer the question.
Yeah.
Ambedkar, right? Ambedkar left Hinduism because...
I am asking about Andhubuttu Raja, sir.
Yes, let me complete.
Dr. Babasaheb Bhimrao Ambedkar's book very clearly presents his views about the ills in Sanatan Pratha and also the threats that other Abrahamic faiths present to India. So, quote everything. I am asking you about Andhubuttu Raja and what he has said. Is he a baptized Christian as the BJP charges? And if that's the case, is that not hate speech because he is coming out to talk about another religion, another faith that he has already left and he does not practice?
That is Sanjeev Verma's imagination. I will go further. Ambedkar left
A Raja
Hinduism.
is a baptized Christian, yes or no? A Raja is a baptized Christian, yes or no? You be clear in your response. Is A Raja a baptized Christian, yes or no? Is K. Adagiri a crypto Christian, yes or no? All your top leaders are either baptized Christians, crypto Christians or Dalit Christians. How dare you condemn Sanatan Dharma when your own leaders have converted from Hinduism into being baptized Christians? You have no business talking about Sanatan
Now,
Dharma.
I'm going to pull away. I'm going to pull away from our political spokespersons because Arvinda Neelakantanji, one aspect, and look at the irony here. Please calm down. Arvinda Neelakantanji, look at the irony here. The DMK spokesperson himself outlined the work that the Dalits are doing in Tamil Nadu, and then they are saying that they are not casteist. And there is a grouping which is 42% as far as reports and data that I have read. Correct me if I am wrong, Arvindanji, that 42% of the Christians in Tamil Nadu are Dalits. So what casteism or eradicating casteism are they talking about? And why single out Sanatan Dharma as being casteist? Arvindanji.
You are not letting me speak, right? You want me to say what you want to hear, but
no, sir, you are not willing to answer the questions to which I want to hear the answers to Mr. Dharnidharan. With due respect to you, sir, your prepared speech itself has punched holes. You have your opening statement, sir. Your opening statement itself was a casteist argument. Your opening statement highlighted Dalits. Your opening statement highlighted that you are yourself maintaining a caste record with Dalits and OBCs. That itself shows you are not equanimous. That itself shows that you are not looking beyond the caste prism. Sorry, sir. Arvinda Neelakantan. Now, please, unless you are, yes, Arvinda Neelakantan. Yes, sir.
Sanjeev Verma can answer. Do you say...
Arvinda
Neelakantan, this cannot be a
can you mute his audio, please, respectfully? Arvindanji.
See, I will not go even into this question of crypto Christians. Okay? Dr. Ambedkar, in his book, An Annihilation of Caste, he mentions a very important thing. He says that Varna is worth-based and Jati is birth-based. And birth-based discriminations he is totally against. And he says Varna is impractical. Okay. But the point I want to stress here is, I have seen a photograph of after the swearing-in ceremony of Udhyanidhi Stalin, all the ministers of DMK cabinet were sitting and standing. A person who has actually accomplished things in his life, who had been in the corporates working, who had got a PhD, who has got a PhD in engineering psychology, who has done his MBA from MIT, he was made to stand, while Udhyanidhi Stalin was made to sit. This is a perfect example of birth-based discrimination. Okay. And Sanatana Dharma does not have room for such birth-based discrimination. Sanatana Dharma, it is for spiritual equality. That is what Sri Aurobindo said. That is what Mahatma Gandhi said. That is what Swami Vivekananda said. And for me, these are the people who define Hindu Dharma and Sanatana Dharma, and not person who is a cultural illiterate like Udhyanidhi Stalin.
Right.
A dynast like Udhyanidhi Stalin is not going to define Hindu Dharma or Sanatana Dharma for me.
Right.
For me, Sanatana Dharma is defined by the great sages and visionaries of India.
My point is that those who are within the Sanatan fold, if they come out and criticize and take out a position to against discrimination, there is sense. But those who have quit it and adopted another faith and they stand there and preach, at that point, does that not tantamount to hate? And does that not violate the rights of the same equanimity and equity and looking respect for all religions and all faiths that the DMK spokesperson alluded to in his remarks on this show? I leave you with that thought, ladies and gentlemen. I have to wind up. I've run out of time. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, the conversation with Sadhguru ji, we're playing it out again right on the cusp of the G20 Leadership Summit. Do watch. Stay with us.
एक दिन में 100 करोड़ आज तक किसी ने कमाया नहीं हो, तो अगली कोई चैलेंज भी होगा किसी मूवी के लिए तो उसको बहुत टाइम जाएगा।
अच्छा, G20 आप जैसे फैंस के लिए एक बड़ा चैलेंज रह रहा है, आप लोग उतना सेलिब्रेट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, क्या किसी तरह की कमी आई है आपके जोश में इसको लेकर?
नहीं, जोश में कमी नहीं है, लेकिन जो अरेंजमेंट है, जो सिस्टम है, जैसे हम इस बार बैंड बाजा कुछ नहीं कर पाए या हम म्यूजिकल प्रोग्राम करते थे वो सब नहीं कर पाए, क्योंकि हमें अपना देश की सेफ्टी को भी देखना है। जो एक G20 को लेकर जो माहौल बना हुआ है, हम चाहते नहीं है कि हमसे कोई उल्लंघन हो उस चीज को लेकर।
मेरे को पता नहीं क्यों याद आ रहा है कि आप वही हैं जिन्होंने पठान वाला लुक लिया था। अब आप जवान वाला लुक लेके आए, पूरा ऊपर से नीचे वही जवान, वही ओपन शर्ट, लाल शर्ट, चश्मा, बाल, सब वही है। अच्छा, मैं गानों की बात करता हूँ। ऑलरेडी बहुत से गाने सुपर हिट है, चाहे वो चलिया हो, चाहे वो रमैया वस्ता भैया, नॉट रमैया वस्ता भैया हो। क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन है और चीजों को लेके इस फिल्म से?
फिल्म देखो, बहुत प्यारी फिल्म है और होप बहुत बड़ा बन चुका है फिल्म को लेके, और फैन तो दीवाने इस टाइम। बस पूरी मूवी उनको देख जाए और बहुत मजा आने वाला है। और रही बात गानों की, जो गाना चलिया जो गाना है वो गाना बेस्ट है।
कोई स्टेप वेप करके दिखा सकते हैं क्या?
वही वाला जो उनका फेमस
करके दिखाइए। वेल, this is what we talk about when we talk about SRK, Shah Rukh Khan or the King Khan. Fans lining up, decked up all around over here. In fact, there are also a lot of people who are also dressed in the t-shirts of Shah Rukh Khan. I'll walk you through. This entire place is filled with fans to watch the very first show. Though there is, we know that there are many restrictions which have been imposed over here. In fact, you can see these fans wearing Jawan t-shirts. The kind of you can see the fever they have. भाई साहब, एक बात बताइए, कितनी एक्साइटमेंट है? कुछ ही मिनट रह गए हैं पिक्चर के रिलीज में।
बहुत ज्यादा, इतनी है, बहुत ज्यादा, बहुत ज्यादा। जब से ट्रेलर आ गया पागल हुए फिर रहे थे हम, कब 7 तारीख आए, कब 7 तारीख आए और हम जाके चीखे चिल्लाए।
वेल, अच्छा आप भी बताइए, आपने तो स्पेसिफिक सबने शाहरुख खान जवान की टी शर्टें पहन रखी है, पहली बार ऐसा कर रहे हैं? हमेशा ऐसे करते हैं?
हमेशा ऐसा करते हैं।
पठान आई थी हमने तब भी ऐसी करा था, जब पठान मूवी आई थी हमने तब भी ऐसी करा था।
अच्छा, बहुत सारे ये लोग बात करते हैं कि शाहरुख खान एक रीजन है इंडस्ट्री के रिवाइवल का, कोविड के बाद जब लोगों ने सिनेमा घरों में जाना छोड़ दिया था। कितनी सच्चाई लगती है इस बात में?
100% सच्चाई, पूरी 100% जी। आपको ही पता है, वो तो बिल्कुल ब्लॉक हो गया था, बाइकआउट चल रहा था, उसके बाद तो आपको ही पता है सबसे ज्यादा।
The kind of craze over here. In fact, you can see whole nagaras also playing, people dancing. This is a festival for them. This is something which they wait for their mega star to come up with the movie, and with the numbers, with the kind of bookings we see of this movie Jawan. This already shows how Shah Rukh Khan has proven his mettle once again. In fact, you can see how crackers are also being burst over here. So you can just imagine the sort of environment which has been created over here. Fans are elated. They are already anticipating that it will cross, this very film will cross the 100 CR mark today itself on the very first day. With advance bookings, we already know that how things are panning out. For this very film, and fans being decked up like this, in fact, and also bursting crackers. They are actually celebrating in the best possible manner to welcome their mega star Shah Rukh Khan. Now, not only in Delhi, we have seen the same similar sort of fever in a lot of states. In fact, across the country, we have seen how this very film or the past films of SRK had done really well because of SRK's fans. You can see over here how crackers are being burst, how the fans are celebrating. The mood is electrifying over here, and in fact they are all set to welcome their mega star Shah Rukh Khan. King Khan is coming back to the big screen, and in fact this time with Jawan, and I'm coming to you from the national capital where the fever is on. You can see the very first show is about to begin, and in fact you can see how the fans are making a beeline over here to watch Shah Rukh Khan's mega blockbuster. What they are saying, it is already a blockbuster. You can see a slew of fans already lining up over here. You can see people in t-shirts. In fact, there are dhol, nagadas present all around. In fact, the atmosphere is electrifying over here. In fact, King Khan has already proven his mettle when it comes to the advance booking. Over 1 million tickets sold just in the pre-bookings, and in fact also the amount of tickets which have been sold is over 37 crores. So already it is giving a big start to Shah Rukh Khan's mega movie, and in fact one of the most anticipated movies, Jawan. In fact, you can see the excitement amongst the fan over here, how they are excited and how they are all ready to welcome King Khan once again back on the mega, on the big screen. In fact, Javed ji, आपकी लेगेसी मैं जानता हूं, आप कितने बड़े शाहरुख खान के फैन हैं ये भी मैं जानता हूं. क्या है आज का प्रोग्राम पूरा आपका?
देखिए, जवान मूवी को लेके जो क्रेज बना है, मतलब अब तो किसी ने बॉयकॉट भी नहीं किया. अब शाहरुख खान की जो असली पावर है बिना बॉयकॉट गैंग के, मतलब पूरी दुनिया में इस टाइम जवान को लेके क्रेज है. मतलब दो ही चीजों की बात हो रही है, तो G20 की बात हो रही है, जवान मूवी की बात हो रही है. तो इससे बड़ी बात शाहरुख के फैंस के लिए हो नहीं सकती. और जो इसकी एडवांस बुकिंग का जो माहौल बना, उसने भी रिकॉर्ड सारे तोड़ दिए. मतलब अभी से लोग उम्मीद लगा रहे हैं कि पहले दिन का बिजनेस जो है वो 60 करोड़ का होगा, 70 करोड़ का होगा. मतलब 50 क्रॉस लोग अब बातें कर रहे हैं. जहां हम पठान की बात कर रहे थे, हम ये बोलते थे कि मतलब 50 करोड़ का बिजनेस तो करेंगे, लेकिन आज वक्त चेंज हो चुका है. आज लोग कह रहे हैं कि
He's known for being very flamboyant, but he's revered as a spiritual guru. But more importantly, he also understands the science of humanity and the need to save our soil, to have a more sustainable planet so that we have a future. He's a bhakta of the Adi Yogi. I have last met you, Sadhguru ji.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram. At your foundation.
I have never heard an introduction like that about me.
But it's always a pleasure to speak with you, sir. And right now we are at your center here in Delhi, and it's just amazing. My first question to you: Shiva Shakti is the spot where the Vikram lander has landed on the moon. How do you see it?
Most appropriate, because the cycles of the moon, the spin of the moon and the spin of the earth and the overall relationship with all the planetary movement that is happening is the basis of our existence. There are 1,000 ways we can explain this, but one of the simplest ways to say it is, only because our mothers' bodies were in sync with the cycles of the moon, we are here, both of us.
Correct.
Otherwise we wouldn't be born. There is a yogic doomsday, if you want me to Over probably 3,000 or 3,600 years ago, this prediction was made because they noticed at that time. Today it is confirmed by scientific measurements. Every year, moon is moving away from our planet by 1.5 inches, or about 15 millimeters. At this rate, if it continues, it's estimated, on that day they estimated 28,000 years later, moon will go that far away that it will stop influencing the biological processes of human women, and they will not become… they'll become incompetent to reproduce. That is how humanity will end. You don't need a bomb, you don't need fire, ice, whatever else other people are usually predicting. This is how it is said. Leaving that aside, the important thing is our existence here, and the spin cycles that are happening are very, very connected. Literally, this planetary system is like a potter's wheel out of which we have been churned out. This is the reason Adiyogi said at that time that in terms of biological and physical evolution, we've reached the peak. We cannot physically evolve anymore, we can only consciously evolve. So, based on this, the whole yogic system that today we are working for a conscious planet, because you can't grow horns or you can't grow extra brains, or you can't do something else because biological evolution has come to its peak on this planet. Elsewhere it may work differently, we don't know. But here, this is all it is. When you're talking about pollution, about everything, you're trying to drive an electric car in the city, is it not important? Rocket is a super polluting process. Because of its scientific value, we do this. Because of the technological advantages we have, because of putting satellites out there, there are many, many benefits to us, we are doing it. But it's a super polluting process, just the way it fires.
Yeah.
So we are using very minimal fuel, using a sling process of using the gravitational momentum to, use thrust only at certain times and rest of the time doing by momentum. We're building up and getting there at very little fuel. All this ingenuity comes because we have a certain balance within us. We are not people who do things with force. We find a balance and effortlessly we do it. This is what spin means even in cricket. What somebody throws at 160 kilometers per hour, somebody throws it at 85 kilometers and still gets all the wickets. That's what spin does. So this is Shiv Shakti for you.
You fantastically answered the balance between science and spiritualism, but Sadhguruji, I have to differ with you. There is one more spin which is called the political spin, which is also being
That is done by you guys.
Not done by us. It's been done. The moment it's christened like that, there is a motive attached to it. Those who look for such motives…
Yes. See, name now there are 12, 15, whatever, but at least name the 9 planets. You will say Sun is Apollo, this is Luna, that is Neptune, this is Jupiter, this is Mars, that is all this. What are all this? These are Greek gods, Greek and Roman gods and goddesses. But you have no problem. Shiv Shakti, suddenly you have a problem, you have an agenda, it's all right. We will leave it at that. There is no need to go on talking about that endlessly. It's a senseless argument because prejudiced people say all kinds of things. Right now you land on the moon, somebody in UK stands up and says, why do you need to go to the moon? Why are you taking aid from us? Which is… I don't think we are, but in case we are, we should give it back. And they should give back whatever they owe us. We'll be fine. I think it's a good exchange.
Well said, sir. There is a Pragyan rover on the moon surface, and there is a rover that you were driving here which is now making headlines.
Oh, I'm not driving a lunar rover, it's a land rover.
But why does it make headlines? Why do the bikes that you ride, the cars that you drive?
See, the thing is, every other day I'm in a different town or a different country. Wherever I get off the airport, people generally don't like to drive me because they feel very nervous driving me, because they're very conscious that I may know how bad drivers they are. So first thing they say, Sadhguru, you please drive. Whatever their cars, whatever I drive, somebody will take pictures. Now all these hundreds of automobiles that I have driven, some media people are saying, I own all of them. I own the whole universe in my heart, so I don't bother about negating these things. All right, why only those 100? All the automobiles, all the people, all the life on this planet, I have always seen it as mine. So I have no problem, they're saying that. But if ownership is in terms of papers, I don't own a single automobile.
But the whole universe is mine, one earth, one family, one future. That's supposed to be our motto as G20 chair. Do you think we have lived up to that billing? Do you think India is done worthy of its presidency as we built up to the summit?
See, have you lived up to one earth, one family, one future? It is not a value that you simply live up to. It is something that you strive for. It is something that you direct the world towards. All the people who are sitting here, They will not become your family just because I say so. We have to win them over. It's over a period of time. Even when you propose to your wife, she's not your family unless she says yes. Now she's your family, isn't it? So, she's my family, if you say without her permission, it'll be ugly. So one family is an aspiration, it's a striving, which we are striving. This has been the civilization's motto. Today we are articulating in English language, otherwise it's always been so, which in Sanskrit language they are saying Vasudevaika Kutumbakam, this is not today's thing. Forever we have said that, because we always saw life cannot exist in compartments. Life as a whole, from a microbial life to human being and every other life, we are connected, they are the foundational life for us. When we say one earth, one family, we are not talking about just human beings, we are talking about every life. And that is a striving, that is a work that we have to do constantly. You will only be complete when you really become a full-fledged yogi, because yogi means you're in union.
Union.
That may not happen to everybody, but everybody is striving, that is the important thing.
At least the effort is there. But connecting your own campaign of Safe Soil, which you initiated around the 75th year of our independence, and you taught 75 nations plus multiple continents. I remember that conversation when you said the African nations need attention and there is a crisis brewing there. At G20, we are trying to make the African Union of say 50 plus countries a permanent member of the G20, while also demanding the first right of use of resources to the developing world, with the focus saying going forward it's these nations and it's the developing nations that are going to contribute 2/3 of the world's GDP in the next 2 decades. You think that's the right approach? You think we are on that path?
Well, that's an aspiration once again. A lot of people won't allow that to happen. Right now, there is Niger, there is Chad, where things are, getting embroiled because certain nations and certain people have been used to getting resources either free or nearly free for a long time. If you're getting something free, suddenly if I ask you to pay, you are going to get very angry. So those issues are there, but it's again a striving to see that all people on the planet, irrespective of which part of geography they come from, what color of skin they are, everybody gets their rightful due. All of them may not become suddenly developed nations, suddenly their living standards may not rise, at least the wealth that they have should belong to them. It should belong to every nation, it should also belong to every people. Even in India there is this problem. See, for example, if you have a piece of land, let's say you have 100 acres of land, if you strike gold, government will come and take it over. I'm pushing for this. In your land, if you find gold, diamond, oil or water, it should belong to you. Government can always impose taxes, government can always control it because it's within the framework. But they can't take it unless it is civilizational aspects. Suddenly in your land we found Harappa Mohenjo-daro, then of course we will take it. Or from public utility we have to take it, we will have to compensate you in a certain way and take it. Or for strategic reasons we have to take it, those are different. But if you find wealth, you will take it, is not good. Because in my land, if I find wealth, it should belong to me. Government can always tax, put up frameworks within which one should function. So today, even if you grow a tree which is valuable, if you cut it, they could arrest you. Now we've changed the laws with the rally for rivers and other things, many laws have changed in most states, but still certain species are not allowed. If you grow rosewood or sandalwood, you can't cut it. So why will anybody grow it? We are importing sandalwood from Australia, can you believe it, of all the places? Down under. India is the land of sandalwood, all right? But we are importing because we don't allow people to grow. Some states have changed the laws since we've been pushing and pushing for this, but it needs to become a national policy, irrespective of what. Whatever I grow, except illegal things, anything legal, whatever I grow, whatever I find in my land, should belong to the owner of that land. If we don't do this colonial law that if your land is not yielding anything, it's yours, if it yields something, it's mine. What kind of law is this? We need to do this in this country, only then farmers are really empowered.
consensus building, resolving conflicts, and especially on, let's come back to G20 because we're building up to the summit. How easy or difficult is it going to be for India to not just earn that, because we've earned the seat at the table, but to sit at the table with the entire grouping of the global south who we want to be a voice of? You said that there will be nations that will create impediments, but are we in a position to deal with it? Are we strong enough to be able to counter that?
See, there are two aspects. One thing is the sincerity of your effort. I think in that way we have earned world's respect. Another thing is the depth of our understanding. I think in that area also we have earned world's respect. But at the same time, how much ever sense you may be speaking, how much ever wisdom you may be speaking, still if you are not strong, nobody is going to listen to you. So, becoming among the top 3 economies in the world is an important goal. Only if we fulfill that, we will be able to fulfill these ideals that we are talking about, fulfill these goals that we are talking about. Otherwise, they will be just talk. We have given a direction. Hopefully, other nations also will start talking. But you must understand, this is the nature of human communities or nations, that one who is in advantage is not willing to compromise unless they have to. This should not be the way. We should have been far more conscious, embracing kind of humanity, but we are not like that right now. Let's not dream about that right now. We can aspire, we can strive, but that's not the reality. So you can't be in a dream world. Without the necessary power to influence trade, to influence geopolitics in a significant way, the one future, though that is the best way to conduct the world, it is the most sensible way and sustainable way to conduct the world. Is the world going to take to it? No. But the idea has been planted. Nobody can blatantly say, no one world, my world is my world, your world is your world. That time is gone. They cannot say it. So I'm saying we have checkmated them in that sense. We are not one family, your family, our family. No one future, our future is good, your future will be bad. Nobody can say that in the International Committee of Nations. So we've got them there. Now to get them committed to that is not going to happen unless you are also a powerful pawn in the whole scene. If you don't have a powerful move, then it'll be just a concept. But as a concept, we've put out a concept that nobody can reject. That's great.
Okay.
To start with.
So what's our powerful move? How do we become a powerful pawn, and where do you see a certain sense of our own understanding, our own cultural roots or cultural nationalism, does it have a key role to play in it? Indians identifying with who we are as Bharat, as India, how much of a role does that play?
See, as Bharat, as a civilization, as a political nation, we are who we are. One significant damage that's happened to us is, what was the possibility of a subcontinent? We were not a nation, we were a subcontinent. Today we are an island nation. You can only go out of this country either by air or by water or by ship or by maritime ways. There is no place you can drive to except to Nepal and Bhutan.
Correct.
We have become an island nation. No island nation has ever become a superpower. Let's be very clear about this. Because it takes trade, it takes resources coming in and going out, and many things need to happen. So first thing is, we need to achieve that one way or the other, that we are not an island nation. How you achieve it? Either by treaties or by whatever means, you have to achieve that, otherwise you are an island nation. Everything coming in by sea and everything going out of sea is not the way to prosper. Prosperity is very important. We have intellectual prosperity, fortunately, because of our cultural strengths. Today, over 72 companies which are in the Fortune 500 group are run by Indian people of Indian origin. Down the line, if you look at it, the most significant part of the management in most of the tech companies are Indian people, or at least Indian origin people. Nations are being ruled by Indian origin people, people who are openly saying I am Hindu and things like that. So this is because our intellect, our competence is being recognized, but still it has not found power in the world, beginning to get little traction. But in the geopolitical stage, if you want to get power, you need a strong economy, a resilient economy, which we are, but in size we are not there. We are number 5 right now, but number 5 in terms of per capita we are way behind, all right, way behind. So this needs to happen right now, we are $2,600 per person, this needs to become at least 12,000.
Yeah.
For us to call ourselves a developed nation. But it is also not fair to judge just by these standards because, well, from where you come, what, Tirunam, where are you from?
I'm from Thrissur, Palakkad.
Oh, you're Palakkad.
Kerala.
All right, even if you go to Palakkad or any part of Tamil Nadu or Karnataka, 50 rupees, you can eat a good full meal.
Yeah, true.
50 rupees is approximately 62 cents. 62 cents I'll give you, go in any of the Western countries and find yourself a bone. Let me see. Dog's bone you won't get, I'm saying. So I'm saying these parameters are not absolute, but it's all right now to go by international parameters. After some time we'll have to set our own standards. I think we are doing all that. Well, we can always say for 1.4 billion people it's not enough. That is true. I would say yes, but have we done well? I think we've done well. Have we done fantastic? No. We need to do a lot more.
Do a lot more. Final question, Sadhguruji. I'll keep this short today, I know you have engagements too. Are we, as a society, because you interact with so many people, there are thousands of volunteers who come and they're part of…
17 million volunteers.
I stand corrected. So millions of volunteers.
No, I'm saying this because don't tell them they're all here. Essentially, I'm a slave driver. I don't pay anybody, but they all work, but we call them volunteers.
No,
they're joyful slaves, that's the only…
Correct, but they are…
Because I am a horrible slave myself.
In the service of the Adiyogi or Shiva. But what I'm asking you is, do you see this consciousness growing in society of wanting to understand what our cultural roots are and also becoming innately stronger? Because it has to stem from there. If we have to be stronger in our defenses, if we have to be strong as a nation in our…
What I say now will make me very unpopular among your viewers probably, but let me say it because most people will recognize things only after it is happening.
Yeah.
Only when the time is past, only in post-mortem they realize this.
Yeah.
So the important thing is this, for example, in United States, 28 to 29% of the people are saying no religion now. In UK, about 32% are saying no religion. In Western Europe, 43% is saying no religion. You mark my words today, because you're a young man, you will live, I may be gone. In 35 years, you will see over 70% of the world's population will say no religion. Because anything that is not logically correct will not sell in this world for the future generations of people. Unless you have a logically correct answer, something in some way, at least in subjective sciences, it's verifiable that it works. So most of the religions are run on the basis of sending you to either a pleasure resort called heaven or a horrible resort, I don't know if it's a resort, a horrible place called hell. These things will not sell. You ask the youth of the day, do you want to go to heaven? They'll ask, is there free Wi-Fi? They are not interested in whatever other advertisements you've done in the past, it doesn't sell with them. It doesn't sell with them. Does Amazon deliver there? These are the questions they will ask you, all right? So, once heaven collapses, along with that, all the inhabitants also collapse. So now you will see a significant movement towards alcohol and drugs, because once there is no heaven, once there is no other place to go and live well, now the only way is chemicals to make my experience fantastic here. So this is when consciousness becomes very important. This is when this culture becomes very important, because this is the only culture, this is the only civilization which has handled human well-being as a science. not a philosophy, not faith, not belief, not somewhere from somewhere it will be managed for you.
Good evening, this is Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. The DMK is doubling down on the controversial comments made by its heir apparent, Udhyanidhi Stalin. Today, his father and the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, M.K. Stalin, defended his son's comments by saying that he was simply referring to the caste system and he was not trying to insult anyone's faith or religion. But one of his trusted lieutenants, A Raja,